Welcome to Azusa Pacific University's virtual events. Today, we are going to be sharing with you about APU's history, its overall growth in enrollment, and our focus is going to be on the 4 cornerstones that build the foundation for who we are as a premier Christian institution. My name is Lucille Flores, and I'm an admissions counselor here at Azusa Pacific University. And so we'll go ahead and get started, and we'll dive into our history. What you'll see on this slide here is that we were founded in 1899 as a trained school for Christian workers. And you can see that in this photo, there are a group of people. And this people is our first graduating class at Azusa Pacific University. There are about 14 students here with their family and friends. And it's quite amazing to think about how much the university has grown over time. And so we're going to discuss a little bit about APU's enrollment and what does it look like now. And so we have about 10,100 total students at Azusa Pacific University. Of that population, you're going to see our traditional undergrad, professional students, graduate students in regards to master's programs, and doctoral students. But more specifically, of the 10,100, 5,000 of those students are traditional undergraduate students on the Azusa campus, and 5,100 of those students are professional students, master's, or doctoral students. Now, let me show you how much the university has grown since that very first picture we showed you today. So from that total number, you can see that APU now is the second largest private Christian school on the West Coast within what we call the Council for Christian Colleges and Universities. And what you'll see is within that council is that APU has grown really expansively and now has 7 regional campuses throughout Southern California. And so the main campus, the Azusa campus, is for our traditional undergraduate students. The 7 campuses that we have surrounding Southern California service our professional, our master's, and our doctoral students. And so our very first trained school for Christian workers was founded in Whittier. And from that, we've absorbed 5 different organizations, moved our location several times, and have now landed home here for our traditional undergrad with this incredible expansion. And so what you'll see as we move forward is we're going to discuss a little bit about who we are as a faith-based organization. And so our motto from that very first picture that you guys saw today was God first then, and it is today. And so that God first motto has been with us for 120 years. And it's incredible to see how that foundation has paved the way for our 4 cornerstones. And so we'll discuss our 4 cornerstones today as Christ, scholarship, service, and community. And so we'll go ahead and we'll dive right into those. And the first of those cornerstones that we're going to be covering is going to be the Christ cornerstone. And so with the Christ cornerstone, what you'll find is that we have 2 requirements for our traditional undergraduate students. The first requirement is that our students attend chapel. And we give our students 6 different options for them to attend chapel at a requirement of 3 chapel attendances per week. And so with those attendances, you're going to have evening chapels, you'll have morning chapels. The availability for those of you that are looking for a flexible schedule with chapel is going to be, unlimited. And when it comes to our second requirement, which is our biblical coursework requirement of 18 units, our traditional incoming freshmen will be required to take the 18 units throughout all 4 years that they're here at Azusa Pacific University, and that narrows down to a total of 6 classes. If you are transferring to Azusa Pacific University, based on how many courses you transfer into APU will be dependent on the proration of classes you'll be required to take. With that, we also love for our students to know that we are a firm private Christian university, but we do not require that our students sign a statement of faith. And so what that means is that you'll be able to engage with students from all different types of backgrounds. And that allows for us to have rich conversation that encourages you to dive into who you are as a believer or someone that is exploring the faith. But what you'll find is that all of our coursework, our faculty, and students here are going to be Christian and faith-based. Now moving forward, we'll talk a little bit more so about our scholarship cornerstone. And so we want to strive to be a premier private Christian institution that is really focusing on scholarship. And so for our students here on campus, they have a wide variety of undergraduate coursework that they can pursue, leading all the way through doctoral programs. And so we offer 71 undergraduate programs, 49 master's degrees, and 8 doctoral degrees, all of which can lead you from the beginning of your undergraduate coursework throughout your doctoral programs if you choose APU for every single degree, which could be quite phenomenal. And then moving a little bit further than that, we can dive into what the actual classroom experience will be like for a traditional undergraduate student. So on average, you have an average classroom size of 19 students. Within that classroom size, our faculty to student ratio is 1 to 11. And that will still give you an opportunity to have a small, intimate classroom experience where you're able to really dive into your coursework and learn well with the surrounding community in your classes. For even further into that, you'll find that our student to faculty ratio is 11 to 1, which means there isn't going to be a lack of availability for you to be able to find office hours, to be able to go in for appointments, to have intimate classroom interactions with your faculty. And so know that your education here, though we are the second largest private Christian institution on the West Coast, will still be a really intimate experience for you in the classroom. And so now what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and progress forward and talk a little bit about that service cornerstone that I mentioned earlier. And so being a private Christian university, we pride ourselves on making sure that our students get engaged in service while they're on campus. And with that, our requirement for our students is that they complete 120 service credits while they are here at APU as a traditional incoming freshman. And so that breaks down into 15 credits per semester. If you are coming into APU as a transfer student, that'll be prorated based off of how many units you bring into a specific university as a transfer student. And so with our service opportunities, you can serve locally, you can serve nationally, and you can serve globally. And you can serve within your major, you can serve missionally. There are going to be a diversity of opportunities for you guys to be able to explore those options. And I would encourage you all to look into our Center for Student Action and see what work they have already completed already. And with that, the university has received a Carnegie Award for service. And so know that we really want you to be able to dive into serving while you're here on campus during your undergraduate experience. Now, moving into our last cornerstone, which I think is a really awesome and incredible one when it comes to bringing all of the cornerstones together, is our community cornerstone. This cornerstone really, I think, encompasses who we are as a private Christian university that wants to put God first, Christ at the actual center of who we are, that allows you to bring scholarship, academics, your classroom, your coursework into the mix, and encourages you to be servants of the Lord, to be people who are greater than just everyday walkabouts with life. And so our community cornerstone allows for you to have that dialogue with your roommates, with your classmates, with your faculty members, so that you can experience APU academically as a student on a completely different level that allows for you to dive into your faith and growth as a person while you're attending a specific university. And so to share a little bit more so about ways that you can dive into community, it's a lot more than just your academics. You can dive into community through clubs and organizations on campus, through our first year student experience as an ambassador, through our second year experience as an alpha leader that allows for you to really explore who you are as a large personality on campus, or someone who just really wants to help others through their undergraduate experience. You can serve through athletics, or you can be a spectator in an athletics event. You can dive into maybe your more department or academic clubs. And so if you're someone who wants to get into business, you can dive into some clubs within business. If you're interested in maybe film or finance or public relations. There are a lot of options for you guys as students to dive into community within your academics, within the student body as well. And I would say more so, what you'll find within community is that you have an opportunity to dive into discipleship groups. You can be in mentoring programs that allow for you to really understand your faith, to explore your faith, and to do that with others around you. And so community is quite expansive in who we are as an institution, and it dives into all 4 cornerstones, bringing them together nicely. And so I'm super excited for you all moving forward as you determine where it is that you want to spend the next 4 years or 2 years, whatever the transferring timeline is for you of your undergraduate experience, hopefully at Azusa Pacific University. And what I want to point your attention to is this picture here on this slide, and it's the Candela. The Candela is an event that is, I would say, sacred to the APU experience, in that when you come to campus for the very first time as an incoming freshman, as a transfer student, you name it, you're going to be able to come together as a community. And this event shows, with the display of lighting candles, what does it mean for one person to make a difference in someone's life, spiritual, academic, emotional, you name it. What does it mean for one person to be able to share the light of Christ to those around them? And so the students all have candles that they begin with that are not lit. And one person, typically our president, goes and lights that candle and then spreads that light to everyone around them. And it's a rippling effect that allows our students to say, I'm home, and I'm super excited about what's next, and that you get to serve in a different capacity. And you do that when you get here for the very first time. And then when it's time to graduate, you get to come together again as a community and do it one last time as you're going out, as you're shepherding, as you've learned everything that you need to know to be a prepared individual, to go out into the world, to make a difference for Christ. You get to do that one last time as you graduate. And so what I'd love to share with you all is that I'm an alum of Azusa Pacific University. I did my undergraduate degree in English and my master's degree in English here at APU. So if you're looking about advancing your education, you can do that. And I want to be a professor. I want to be someone who engages with students, who teaches them a little bit more about what it might mean to be an educator that is faith-based, that is looking forward, that had an experience here that was transformational. And knowing that you all get to dive into that journey next is super exciting. And for me specifically, I don't think I've ever been more transformed anywhere else in my life than I have been during my time at Azusa Pacific University. And so I want to send you out with encouragement, and I want to send you out with prayer and hopeful expectation that you'll be able to choose a university that has this firm foundation on who we are as a Christ-centered, God-first serving university that really prides itself in giving you the best education possible through scholarship, and in that, encouraging you to serve as someone who can serve in your academics, who can serve through ministry, right, and your future professions moving forward, that allows for you to grow in community. And so thank you so much for the time that you have spent with us today, and I look forward to being able to speak with you in the future and our team about why APU would be an incredible choice for you, and if you have any more questions.